very welcome to our Mass on this somewhat stormy morning here in Rome. It is wonderful to be with you. It is a real privilege to celebrate Mass in our General House as part of our young MSC conference. As you can see from our readings today, when Mark, myself and Michael were looking at this liturgy, we decided to pick different readings. The idea being that we were looking to the future. We were reflecting on what we had listened to yesterday about our past, about our present. And today we look to the future with Father Mark's input and Father Ben's input as well. The theme we had is one of justice, peace and integrity of creation. This echoes the conference that's just happened in Cameroon. And we can see, which I think is a very positive sign within our order, that there is life, that there is vision, that there is a desire to be in this world instruments of peace. So we'll look at that a bit later. But before we break open the Word, before we break open the bread, we just take a moment to look at our own lives, to think of those times when maybe we weren't instruments of peace. Think of those times when we have fallen short of what God has hoped for each of us, and we ask God for forgiveness.
Seeing the crowds, he went onto the mountain, and when he was seated, his disciples came to him. Then Jesus began to speak, and this is what he told them. How blessed are the poor in spirit, the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Blessed are the gentle, they shall have the earth as inheritance. Blessed are those who mourn, they shall be comforted. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for uprightness, they shall have their fill. Blessed are the merciful, they shall have mercy shown to them. Blessed are the pure in heart, they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, they shall be recognized as children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted in the cause of uprightness, the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Blessed are you when people abuse you and persecute you and speak all kinds of calumny against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven. This is how they persecuted the prophets before you. You are salt for the earth. But if salt loses its taste, what can make it salty again? It is good for nothing, and can only be thrown out to be trampled under people's feet. And this is the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Please be seated. Today in our psalm we hear the psalm saying, "Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord." In our studies, it's always quite interesting how we approach the Psalms. We used to have very animated discussions with Mick Mara and Martin McNamara in my own province about the value of some of the Psalms, and how some of the Psalms, we kind of think, I don't know how Christian these Psalms are. But Martin and Mick would always be very, very emphatic, two of our priests, and they'd say, the Psalms reflect the experience of the people. And I think none more so than the Psalm we have this morning. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. Lord, listen to my voice. And this is the experience of so many people in our world. So many of the people that the missionaries of the Sacred Heart work with. They come from a place of real struggle. They come from a place where hardship is a daily reality. They come from a place where they really need that presence of God. And our gospel, I think, is interesting because it seems to echo values that go completely against what we believe in the world today. Blessed are the peacemakers, but our world seems torn by war. Blessed are the pure in heart. The values that we seem to promote in the world today don't seem to be values of the heart. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for what is right. Blessed are those who mourn. But I think within that gospel there's something very special, particularly with the translation of the word blessed, for it means to have a heart that has been opened by life. that is not just looking into itself, but it's a heart that reaches out to others, particularly those who are in need. And we can see this, I think, as a movement within our order is becoming much, much stronger. We had our assembly in Istedun, I think it was last year, that really stressed the importance of justice and peace and the integrity of creation. This year for our conference, it was the first week. And it's a wonderful thing to see. It's gospel values been lived out in who we are. It's a part of our identity. But then we look at our gospel. And it's not our gospel, our first reading. And it's a marvelous first reading. The call of Moses. The time he saw the burning bush. He had fled from his people, working as a shepherd, denying who he was. But God called him back in. He said, I'm sending you against the oppression of Pharaoh to set your people free. And what was Moses' answer? Well, who am I? What do I have to offer this world? I'm just one person. It's beyond me. The problems of this world are too big. But God is saying, I'm sending you, but I'm not sending you alone. I will be with you, and together there is nothing that you face that both of us together cannot overcome. And the same is true for you and I this morning, as we gather together for this meeting. And then as we finish up and go back to our respective ministries, wherever that may be, we know that God goes with us. Who are we? We are the missionaries of the Sacred Heart. We are asked to take that love, that burning bush, and we are asked to spread that to people who live in darkness, to people who cry out from the depths and desperately need that heart of Christ, desperately need to believe that there is a God who loves them. And in serving these people, we learn and grow ourselves, and we learn and grow especially from the people that we serve. Their own insight and their own faith feeds ours. So today, we pray in a special way that we may be instruments of peace. We pray that we may be pure in heart. We pray that we may go out into this world and spread values that began so long ago in 1854 when Jewish values listened. We live in a world that's characterized by egoism and indifference, and that's not how it should be. And what is the remedy but the Sacred Heart? So what we're going to do this morning, because we are the Irish province, and the Irish province has a reputation of doing things just slightly differently. We are going to invite people in a moment to go to the back. And there's little pots with earth in them, and there are some markers. And what I would like people to do is, we'll just play some music while we're doing this. I'd like you to maybe write a prayer on the outside of the pot, or a symbol for where you think we as an order are moving. So for some people, they just might want to draw a heart. For others who are wonderful artists, they might want to draw something slightly more expressive. And once that's done, we're going to bring those up as part of our offertory procession. But it'll just be very gentle. There's no need, if someone were to write just one word, that's perfectly okay. If people share afterwards, that's fine, but there's no pressure. You can keep it private if you wish. Is that clear? Father Mark, would you just translate that into Italian for our brothers?
Adesso ciascuno andrà in recipiente qui nella tassa e puoi scrivere alcune parole o un simbolo sulla bicchiere. Poi dentro ci sono due serie per crescere.
Okay, wonderful. So if you'd like just to go to the back, take a marker and take a pot, please feel free.